was perfect. Absolute perfection. All right, so this is going to be the very first test of me using a camera setup. Currently just using my iPhone 13 Pro to record everything. You can see my hands, side mirrors, rear view mirror. Might even be able to see the camera. I didn't really take a lot of time to test it out. Might even be able to see my eyes. So when I put it in gear, you can see that we go into having the full self-drive enabled, and we're just going to go ahead and give this a shot. I'm out in Hagerstown, Maryland. I just stopped somewhere to start out in a neighborhood that I'm not familiar with, and I'm just going to pick a point on the map and ask the car to take me there. So let's go ahead and head right over to here. I know exactly where that is, but that's where we're going to ask the car to go. I'm going to get it out of this parking lot, and then
now turn right onto Buckeye Circle.
I'll engage it once I get out of this parking lot. In between parts that aren't really that interesting, I'll go ahead and fast forward so that you're not having to watch anything that's terribly boring.
Now turn
the
right
dog.
onto
Did you see
Terrace
that?
Boulevard.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and enable it here. Auto steer temporarily unavailable. Interesting. Alright, well, I will take this turn and then I'll enable it. There's actually a small roundabout up here, so I'm very curious to see what it will do. Let's slow down to the speed limit. I don't even think 30 is the speed limit. I think it's 25 through here.
Second exit.
So you can see that
Now enter the roundabout.
full self-drive is doing a pretty good job here. I don't know how it's going to handle this roundabout. I've never gone through here with FSD, and we have to acknowledge the yield. And
In 500 feet.
does it okay. It's a little janky, kind of jittery, and really unsure of itself.
Now turn right onto
We're turning right.
Road.
Okay, I know this direction, but I don't go this way. It's usually I would go to the left. There is a car coming. It's going to have to creep forward. Okay, that car's turning, so it can go. And it's going to wait. Okay, that car has turned, and it's perfectly clear. There's nobody coming. Okay, so it's going to turn into the turn lane here. There's a lot of debris in the road. Okay.
Turn left to take the Interstate 81.
Alright, so that wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great either. I would rate that a solid, like, 5 out of 10. Oh, it's going to take us on the highway. I don't want it to take us on the highway. I'm actually going to skip this, manually override, and have it reroute. I'm not sure what happened there, but that was it was really interesting to see that it couldn't reroute. Go ahead and speed up a little bit. There's a person directly behind me. Anyway, I didn't want it to take the highway because it's navigating on autopilot is a different stack, so it switches over to the different different stack of machine learning and AI. Get rid of this, full screen. So it's doing a really good job of rendering and avoiding all these vehicles and all the lines. It sees all of the driveway bibs. It's predicting all of the intersections pretty well. This is going to be weird. Yeah, I'm going to take over because that's weird. If you wanted to go really
500 feet. Turn left onto Salem Avenue.
So that's an interesting one. I'm going to head and
Now
report that
turn
one.
right onto Stratford Avenue.
All right, so we have a four-way stop. There's nobody coming. We have the right of way, and we're going. Good. Very well
In
done.
500 feet, turn left onto Salem Avenue.
I like that it's rendering all of these cars properly. It's even picking up each one's a pickup truck or
Now
SUV.
turn left onto
That one's kind
Salem
of wrong.
Avenue.
But it's doing a good job. All right, so I can't see anything either direction, so it's going to have to creep forward. Yeah, there's no way. I can't see anything. I'm going to probably take over. I can't see this way. I'm going to take over because this is blind both directions. Both directions are blocked very, very hard by cars. All right. So he was going to put us right in front of a car because they couldn't see. So I had to take over. That's okay. I don't mind having to stop it on stuff like that. I mean, I couldn't even see. I can't expect the car to see that. There were cars in either direction blocking my view. Parked cars. So these are, it's going around the cars that are kind of parked poorly, and that is very good. These are very tight city streets. This is a pretty old city, so we have very tight streets. A little bit of phantom braking there. Not sure why. Which way is it going to take us here? Straight through. Good.
In 500 feet, bear left onto West Church Street.
There's some pretty complicated turns in this city. Some very non-standard intersections, like this one here. We have a left turn lane. The center lane is your straight through lane, and then you can actually even merge over into this direction where a road merges in and you turn right there. It's very complex. This would be very interesting to see how it would handle cars crossing each other's paths and doing interesting things. There's nobody there, so we just go straight through. Handles these intersections okay. That is wrong. Go ahead and report that. Re-engage. Not sure what it was thinking there. Trying to put us in the turn lane to go into the shopping center there. I'm not sure what happened. I'm just hovering my foot over the accelerator. I will give it a tap if I feel like I need to. I don't mind giving it a nudge. I don't mind taking over because this is still beta software. It's still very experimental. And I am in charge. Okay, it needs to get over to the left. There we go. I'm wondering how that would have been if the cars had been parked closer to the intersection, if it still would have gone and hooked right hard there. It's going to be interesting. What is this tendril or tentacle or whatever you want to call it doing? It's trying to go around these cars. Chill out, buddy. They're sitting at a red light. I'm going to go ahead and report that because that's unacceptable behavior. It's trying to figure out a route around the cars even though we're stopped at a red light. Pilot system of Volvo did very well. Wow, it just folded my mirrors and then unfolded them. That was very interesting. I guess it figured that I had an extremely narrow path here. Interesting. I might find that I'm talking too much. This is my first video doing this, and it's probably not going to get posted. If it does get posted, cool. Alright, so now let's see how it handles this one-way intersection. Say
now turn left.
we only have a stop sign.
Avenue.
Oncoming traffic does not. Which I think they need to change because this is a blind corner. You can barely see what's coming from your right. This is going to, I guarantee you the car is going to sneak out into this intersection quite a bit. There's nobody behind me, so I'm going to let it do its thing. I'm just going to watch hard on the right-hand side to make sure there's nobody coming. We are clear. All right. Okay, that was pretty bad. I mean, it did the turn okay. It's just, it should have done it much quicker, much smoother. This is absolute jank, and I'm going to report this. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, I mean, it is inclement weather. Inclement. I mean, it's very smooth on byways and side roads and things like that. I have noticed that it is very, very easily confused by these old roads in the city. If I were to drive my usual loop, which I'm probably going to do, it's a long loop, and it'll be a long video, but it will be able to show byways, highways, side roads, old roads that have been converted from, you know, horse and buggy to actual streets. It'll show all of that. Now, I'm actually going to take over and let this guy that's behind me take past me, because people like to drive a lot faster out here than I am willing to, and I'm going to let them do their thing. There's a car, okay. He's going the other way. Alright, cool. Go back onto it. There. Alright, so we're going to come up on this destination. I'm going to change the destination to actually, let's see. Lowe's. Okay. So I just got a text message from my wife, says that our drill died and we need a drill, so I'm going to go buy a drill. So I'm going to go to Lowe's. Now, I should turn on the turn signal right now, but it hasn't been doing that. It's been doing it once I actually start getting into the lane. I don't like that. It looks like there's a car behind me, so I've got to be very careful what this thing does here. Doesn't look very sure on what it wants to do with the tendril there. Tendril, tentacle, I'm not sure what to call it. I mean, it's rendering all the cars properly. If you see what it's seeing. All right, here we go. We got a green light. Don't you dare stop for these trucks. We got the right of way. All right, that was perfect. Absolute perfection. The guy was really close on the line back there. It cleared the guy. It saw the truck turning to the left, and it saw the truck coming on the yield lane, and it handled that perfectly. That was one of the best interactions I've had with FSD so far. I cannot fault that at all. I hope this is still recording. It is. Okay. Goodness. All right. That was cool. All right, so I'm coming up with some train tracks. I really wish that they would account for train tracks in the map data and slow down for them, because in my driving yesterday, it didn't seem to do that. Now, there are unlit lights here. You would think there'd be some kind of slow, and there's not. It maintains speed all the way through. Another one of my complaints about FSD beta is that it hugs the line, the center line, really closely. Not really sure why they decided that that would be the way to go. I gotta watch what these people behind me are doing. Nobody likes to come through here less than 35, but okay, there we go. This is something that I've noticed a few times, is it does not like these lines. And again, this is a non-standard area. And look, it's not even doing proper visualization there. Okay, there we go. Oh, because I still had it in cruise control. I just took over steering. Okay. Learning curve. Alright, so it looks like there's a car stopped on the side of the road up here. I'll be very curious to see what it does, what interactions we get. Oh, no, okay, he pulled out. He was stopped right here on the right-hand side. Okay, you need to get over. There we go. Ooh, I didn't like that. Turn signal, slow down. Turn signal, slow down. No turn signal? Wow. Okay, we're going to go through the yield because it's not actually a yield for this lane. There we go. I forced it through. Okay,
In 500
get over, Elaine.
feet, turn
Let's
right.
go. Thank you. All right, and once we get into this parking lot, I'll take over because we don't drive through parking lots in FSD beta.
Now
At least I
turn right.
don't. So it should proceed. We've got time. Got time? We no longer have time. Taking ever. Alright, I'm going to push it through. Alright, let's go. Let's
Now
go.
your destination is on the right.
And now I'll take over. Alright, so that's enough of FSD beta for this trip. We'll stop the camera and we'll try again in a little bit. Oh, that's another thing I don't like about this version. You used to be able to do like a rolling stop and then throw it in reverse, and you can't do that anymore. You have to put your foot on the brake. All right. Oh, yeah, perfect.